I guess it's time I talk about marijuana in America. So, what can I say about weed? Bud, THC, ganja, green, the sticky icky. What can I say? Well, for starters, it's one of the oldest substances known to man. People have been smoking marijuana for supposedly thousands of years. It has been claimed that they found marijuana in China thousands of years ago. So marijuana has always been part of our society. It's been part of our history. It's been part of our people for as long as man can remember. So why is it that in the year 2017 we find ourselves stuck at a crossroads between conflicting interests and opinions and values and morals based upon marijuana? What I mean is, half the people agree that it's good, and the other half suggests that it's bad. I think it's good. I'm very adamantly supporting that it is good. If you were to compare this blunt right here to a cigarette and the chemical content between both, you'd be surprised to find out that the substance that is illegal, this one right here, is so much more beneficial and less harmful than a cigarette right here. So why is it that I can go to the store and buy this cigarette that has thousands of chemicals in it that's so dangerous to me, causes cancer and plenty of other diseases and ailments, and it's fine? $5, I'm good. Marijuana, $20, I risk going to jail. I gotta spend $20, I gotta get a cigar. There's a lot of time involved in that. And it's illegal. The only thing it does for me is relax me. You don't see people on marijuana acting like you do on other substances. For instance, alcohol, methamphetamine, cocaine, things like that. People on alcohol get in car accidents. People on alcohol make irrational decisions. They're abusive to their significant others. People on uppers, cocaine, methamphetamine, stuff like that, they ruin their entire lives. They ruin their kids' life. They cause problems for everybody. How many problems does marijuana cause for anybody except for my blunt keeps going out? Because I'm not hitting it right. Gotta puff, puff, give. Should have listened to Friday. Yeah, it's alright. Well, I'd like to get into the history just to briefly to discuss why and who is responsible for marijuana being illegal. The man's name is Henry Anslinger. That's the man. He was like the Secretary of Treasury or Secretary of something back in the early 30s. In 1931, 29 states outlawed the use of marijuana. So since then, more laws have been put forth for, regulations and restrictions and different things in regards to that. And also the tax stamp law that came about, which basically hits people who are selling drugs with a double charge rather than just possession. They get hit with possession and the intended idea to sell a substance that is not regulated by governmental structure. It's crazy. The reason it was made illegal in the first place is because they said that it caused insanity. It caused people to act irrational. They didn't like the black people smoking it, and they thought that the white people were gonna pick up on what the black people were doing, because black people predominantly smoke marijuana, and the white man and the political power did not want that coming across into his people, I guess. But that sure didn't work. You know what I mean? Look what happened. Now we just have even more problems, and people are more argumentative about the subject. There was a movie that came out. It was called Reefer Madness. And this is partially the reason so many of our elders have conflicting interests, because them or their parents or their grandparents have seen this movie, and they were influenced by this movie that marijuana makes you crazy. The whole idea behind this movie was that they would smoke marijuana and it would just drive them nuts, and they would act crazy. I mean, that's the easiest way to put it. It would literally make them crazy. So that's what the media did. It influenced that marijuana was going to make the people crazy. How many people do you know act crazy on marijuana? They might have crazy munchies. They got a crazy appetite. They might have a crazy imagination. But they're not harmfully crazy to themselves or others, for the most part. There's always exceptions, but for the most part. I mean, look at the 70s. Peace, love, tranquility, smoking weed, Woodstock. Everybody remembers hearing about the stories of Woodstock and how everybody was on acid and marijuana and all these mushrooms and crazy hallucinogenic drugs. But there was, around the time of the war, that was what drew the people together, and that's what made them feel at ease and gave them some type of comfort. Well, I think now, look at where 1931 is 2017, nearly 100 years away, and I still feel the same way. I feel like it's serving that same purpose. It's giving peace and love in my life. And I think it gives peace and love to everybody who uses this life. The admin users of marijuana, I think it gives them extreme peace and love. So why is something that's giving us peace and love illegal? Not one time have I ever smoked a marijuana cigarette or consumed marijuana in any particular way and ever felt aggression or anger towards anything. If anything, I took a nap, ate some food and took a nap, but I've never felt angry towards someone because I smoked a marijuana cigarette or because I've consumed marijuana. So that's all misconception. That's all speculation, because I know hundreds of people who smoke marijuana and they're perfectly fine. Hundreds. Yeah, I'm 28 years old. I've met a lot of people in my life. Most of them do smoke marijuana. And the ones that don't, the only reason that they don't, for the most part, the most common answer is because their job would piss test them. If they could smoke, a lot of them say they would. But again, back to the Reefer Madness, the reason people don't, say my grandma and her generation don't smoke marijuana is because they were so influenced by the media that if they were to smoke marijuana even one time, that they would be like that forever. It would completely ruin their life, or it would distort their entire everything. So it tainted their perception of what the substance actually does for people and how good and beneficial it can actually be. Now, with all medical marijuana becoming so popular and everywhere, it's blowing up. The industry's blowing up. It's causing crazy amounts of revenue. Marijuana industry is blowing up. Medical marijuana industry. Recreational is allowed in a few states, but for the most part, it's medical marijuana is the industry that's booming. I mean, because there's so many practical uses for it, and It's for things like cancer and leukemia and arthritis, things that are, so severe to people that if they don't have this marijuana, sometimes they don't have a way to eat. They don't have a way to concentrate, to focus, to relax, to get through their day. They're not, you know, set on taking tons and tons of pills, doing chemo and all that, because that's just adding to the problem. That's making things worse. You're putting more toxic chemicals into your body. The only toxic chemicals that would be in marijuana would be the light that you use to light it. If you use a lighter, there might be some butane that gets on there, or if you're using tobacco, cigars, or something. But for the most part, marijuana is not gonna hurt you. There's nobody that's ever died from marijuana, and out of all the substances in the world, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty amazing that no one's died from it. People die from aspirin. Like 50,000 a year die from aspirin, acetaminophen overdose, or too much aspirin intake. But marijuana, big zero. So why is it that the facts are there, the truth is there, the medical is now there, but it's still legal? It's still technically a Schedule 1 narcotic, which means that it has A, no medical purposes or value, and B, it's highly addictive. Well, C, both of those are incorrect, and I can prove them both. But I'm not the government. I'm not legislation. You're the legislation. The people need to reevaluate the situation and reconsider the benefits of marijuana. Regardless of what your opinions are based upon marijuana, it is coming to a full scale, and it will be legalized nationally within the next 5 years. And I want to explain why I feel that way. Right now, 29 states in 2017 allow for medical marijuana purposes. I think there's about 5 that have for recreational, but 29 states for medical marijuana. That means that over half the country, there's 50 states obviously, over half of them have already agreed upon allowing medical marijuana. Well, the coincidence that I found was that in 1931, when they banned marijuana, 29 states are the ones that banned it. So in 31, 29 states banned it. In 2017, 29 states allowed for it. So you see where I'm coming at. I think we're starting to reevaluate our circumstances and reevaluate marijuana in a more progressive and positive manner. I think people are starting to see that they may have been misled and told things that weren't true to the fullest extent. The truth's coming out now. It's just sad that we couldn't have utilized this for the last 100 years. Imagine what the world would have been like if marijuana had been legal for the last 100 years. How more calm and peaceful the earth would be. I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be bugging North Korea and tweeting about it. We'd probably be trying to build them, make them paintings and sculptures and turn them into our buddies. Personal experiences with marijuana is, for the most part, very positive. It's helped me in numerous ways. It helps with my anxiety. It helps me with back pain and headaches and migraines. I have arthritis. It helps me with my arthritis. Marijuana has been very beneficial for me. I've been smoking since I was about 12 or 13, maybe a little too early, but ever since then, I've known I've had a passion for it, and I've had an attachment to it for some reason, and it does work. 28 years old now, and I could say that that's the only substance that I intake on a regular basis. intoxicating or illegal. So that's not bad. I've been addicted to heroin, meth, cocaine, all that, and now all I do is marijuana. Back to the basics, back to where I started. Back to where I know my comfort zone is and where I need to be at. I've sold marijuana. I've sold drugs. I've been in that game. There's money into it, but it's not worth it to do this stuff illegally. This marijuana is a booming industry. You might as well jump into the dispensary market or growing market or get your growing license or something, because those markets are going to be booming at least for the next 5 to 10 years. At least. They keep finding more and more practical applications for medical marijuana and marijuana. It's not going to slow down. The momentum's picking up so much, it's never going to slow down. You know what I mean? The secret's out. Marijuana's good. And we want it. We want it legalized, and we want it legalized today. So my future expectations of this marijuana world in America is that by the year 2020, by September 12th, the year 2020, I believe that all 50 states will have at least attempted to do their first round vote for allowing medical marijuana to pass in their states. I believe all already have, but if they haven't, I'm certain that those are coming up on the upcoming ballots. The topic's not going away. Marijuana smokers are not going anywhere. Once they find some things that are wrong with marijuana, they might. But you don't hear no actual negative things about marijuana except for the distributional intentions and the usage. You know, they say marijuana is a gateway drug, but milk's a gateway to fucking heroin. Every heroin addict started on milk. So does that mean that every heroin addict, you know, has to be a marijuana addict? Does that mean every marijuana addict has to be a heroin addict? Does that mean one substance leads to another? No. People make choices in life, and they progress on those choices, and they make further choices. So it is what it is. You gotta stand your ground. I'm sorry, this video was a little longer than usual, but I'm pretty big into marijuana. It's a big part of my life. It always has been and always will be. It's only 5:30 a.m. and I'm up for the day. Smoked my first blunt, well, about half of it, while I was making this video, and just contemplating on my day. Gonna write out a little planner for my to-do list today. I recommend you getting a Franklin Day Planner if you don't have one. It can make you very successful. So it's just time to get the day started. Time to exercise, get in the shower, get some breakfast. Maybe make some more videos, but I just want you all to realize that marijuana is a good thing. Marijuana is a good thing. I'll say it one more time. Marijuana is a good thing. That's my opinion. That's my vote. You have an opinion. I really don't care what your opinion is. I value it, but I don't really care about it because it's not going to negate my opinion towards marijuana. I hope that maybe I shed some light or answered some questions that you've been contemplating with. Maybe you've been considering marijuana as a alternate source to pharmaceutical narcotics. Or, maybe you'd prefer marijuana over your alcohol habit. Or maybe you'd prefer marijuana over your tobacco addiction. It's all about health and being healthier. What do I always say at the end of my videos? Drink lots of water and be healthy. And that's what I'm saying to you now. Drink lots of water, exercise, be healthy, get lots of sleep. And for this episode, smoke lots of weed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment and share. I hope you have a blessed day. And this is Kyle over and out.